What is good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. The movie I'm reviewing today was recommended by Cool Nerd and had actually been recommended for a long time, so I apologize, but I did review this. I'm glad that I was able to get a sci-fi movie in this month, and this was a good one. It is currently available on Amazon Prime for streaming, so if you do have Amazon Prime, you can check it out. There, Fire in the Sky is directed by Robert Lieberman and stars Robert Patrick and Peter Berg. It is based on the true story of Travis Walton, who states he was abducted by a UFO and was missing for 5 days in the northern mountains of Arizona. The movie is about a group of 6 men, primarily Travis Walton being the one who states he was abducted. They are loggers. They were working in the mountains of northern Arizona. On their way home, they saw a ray of light, a red ray of light coming from over the mountains that appeared to be a fire. They followed it and found a large saucer, bowl, rock type ship in the sky emitting this ray of light. Something that is otherworldly, something they had never seen, something that is close to Earth and looked everything to be like of alien life form. Travis, for some reason, he's kind of the dreamer. He's kind of the aloof guy of the group. We get to notice very early on. They kind of give you a good idea about the characters very early on, the way they present the story, because we're going back and forth between what they said that day and an investigation into him being missing. So what happened that day that they are stating is Travis got out of the truck. Why he got out, I couldn't tell you. It's, you know, he's one of those types of dudes, just saw something interesting, gets out and is staring up at this awe-inspiring thing, this thing that is otherworldly, that would grab anyone's attention. I personally wouldn't be one to get out of a car, but I would absolutely be immersed by it. He is then picked up with a ray of light in the stereotypical fashion where your arms are back, and it drops him down. They think, everybody in the truck thinks he is dead. In fear, they drive off. Soon after, Mike, who is the leader of the group, comes back and Travis is gone. They come back to town in a state of just shock, to say the least. They're beyond shock. Words can't describe the way they're feeling. They report him as a missing person, and naturally this group of 5 men are thought to have murdered him because he is gone, and they were the last people to have seen him. However, there's no body, there's no evidence, so they cannot be accused of murder. Travis then appears later, 5 days later, after being missing and after his friends being basically having their reputations dragged through the mud. The police and everybody else, not knowing what to think, naturally think these people murdered him and buried his body despite there being no evidence of foul play. Now, this is where the movie kind of grabs me, because I'm always one to believe the crazy people. Anybody who's seen my channel, who's seen a lot of my videos, knows the way I think. I always believe in the one who everybody thinks is a little bit, oh, this person's crazy. I always believe their story. So Travis appears 5 days later. He tells of his story to everyone. He has PTSD like no one can imagine, and describes it to people, and either you believe him or you don't. Now, naturally, I'm one to always believe the crazy person. Now, does everyone who thinks outside of the box, like myself, are we always right? No, but the people who think in that box, in this case, in this story, the police and the authority figures, there's no way. Their minds can't wrap around this ever happening. And what I loved about this movie, I'll just go right into that. I love that aspect of it, of people that you once trusted, because Mike, who is the leader of this group, is like a pillar of the community. He's been a hard worker, got a family, and he was the one to go back for him. So everybody thinks he killed him. And he's like, I've been a good guy all my life. Y'all know me. And now you're saying I would kill my best friend and my sister's future husband? Why on earth would I do that? So I love that aspect of sticking to your guns. This is what I saw. This is what I experienced. I would not kill my friend. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. Like I said, I'm always one to be with the crazy person. So I love that aspect of it. I love that they pretty much give you a good idea about the characters early on. I love the back and forth that goes on early in the movie, that goes on between their experience and the investigation. They reported it right away, so I can't see why they would like falsify the information. But yeah, I love that aspect of the story. It's got good characters. You get to know them well. They're family people. They come from a small town. It's out in Arizona, so I lived out there for a little bit, so I kind of got that vibe. A lot of people there are kind of loners. I'm from the East Coast. When I lived out in Arizona, I was kind of an outsider. I liked that aspect of it. What I didn't like, there was some scenes that could be tightened up a bit. I didn't like the ending. I thought the ending just was like too much of a hey, everything is okay now. I don't like that. That's not for me. That's not my type of ending. I like it. He describes his experience, and I would have liked it to end right there. Ambiguity. Do you believe it or you don't? I don't need to know about their life story afterward. Show me that. But yeah, overall it was a very good experience. Again, I like the stories where do you believe in the crazy person or not? I mean, that's something I'm always drawn into. Cool Nerd, thank you so much for recommending this movie. I had a very good time with it. The characters are pretty good. Some of the acting, Robert Patrick, who's typically a good actor, I actually know him from The Sopranos. He's kind of a little bit too over the top. Some of the acting is a little bit made for TV-ish, but it doesn't take you out of the story. It's an overall good story. I researched it, I looked it up a little bit, and this guy's book is real, if you want to believe the story or not. If you're asking me, do I believe, hey, I would lean toward yes, but that's just because I always believe the crazy people. That's just who I am. Could it be a crock? Of course, that's always a possibility. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I mean, it took me back to the 90s when we could just go to Blockbuster and just rent a movie about a story, and it wasn't a sequel. It was just based off a book, and that was it. So I love that aspect. It felt very 90s. It's made in 93, so it absolutely fits right in there. Good characters, good small town feel, you know, the crazies versus the people who think inside the box, you know. Naturally, the cops, you know, they just work in that structure. But Cool Nerd, thank you again for recommending the movie. I do have a couple other movies that were recommended in my community post I'm gonna be hitting, and I got some other movies to close out this month. I'm having a blast with y'all. I got some experiences I'm gonna be going on and sharing with y'all as well. Thank you so much for joining me today for this review and spending a few minutes with me. I greatly appreciate your time. I will see y'all again soon. Please take care and be well.